Hello, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We are here today looking at July 2026 for your money and career. We're going to look at some astrological influences and see what is activating for you. So first of all, we got a lot going on in July. Okay, we got some outer planet activity, which is a little bit unusual. We've got a lot of things sitting at 4 degrees of their sign. So it's really quite interesting. Fours do represent stability, security, planting roots, a strong foundation, and it is also a Cancerian degree. So nurturing yourself, your home, your family, where you feel safe and rooted in this reality, in this timeline. So it can be a great focus. Some of you might be making some changes. Some of you could be picking up and planting roots somewhere else, like moving home, moving where you work, or perhaps you may even be looking at making some career changes, or starting your own business or expanding upon something. So all of this can come to play this month. First off, we do have retrogrades. Okay, so we have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury went retrograde June 29th and will stay that way until July 23rd. So we are in a retrograde month with Mercury. So as we all know, the dealio here with this is it, some people will never like make big decisions or sign contracts, but let's face it, in a practical way, life goes on. So if you do need to make any big decisions or sign any contracts, just make sure that you double and triple check everything, you sleep on it, and seek out legal advice if you need to. Neptune is turning retrograde. This is at 4 degrees of Aries. This one's actually kind of interesting because it goes retrograde July 7th, so 7/7, and it stays retrograde until December 12th, 12/12. So sevens, ones, and twos are coming into play with that Neptune retrograde. Pluto retrograde. Pluto's already retrograde, okay, and it will stay there till the middle of October at 4 degrees of Aquarius. Saturn also retrograde July 26th up until December 10th, and that is in the sign of Aries. The nodes shift this month here as well on July 26th. North Node and the South Node moving out of Pisces and Virgo and heading into Aquarius and Leo. So this is really taking lead, taking charge to make changes for your future. Social networks, connections, focus on your wishes. And of course, Uranus is at play this month as well. And Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So breaking us free, shocks and surprises, sudden unexpected changes. But Uranus is the great awakener, so we can see things in a way that we never saw before, or we can see the magic in things, right? We can awaken to a lot of things. July 3rd, we've got Mars conjunct Uranus, and this is at 3 degrees of Gemini. Talk about putting a spark to a flame. There can be like some sudden insights, some sudden opportunities open up. A conjunction is a beautiful, beautiful aspect. Mars is like courage, okay, your fighting energy, but we can use our fighting energy in a really good way. This is that fiery passion within you. It's also energy and action. Uranus, we already just talked about Uranus. Uranus can bring you huge breakthroughs and can help break away from the things that have been holding you back. Worries, fears, doubts, you name it. And of course, Gemini energy, there can be multiples of things. It is the twins, right? So we can have multiple opportunities, multiple directions. You might be at a crossroads. Maybe you're partnering up with somebody. But Gemini energy is ruled by Mercury, and it's all about the mind, communication, media, all this kind of your big ideas, publishing, like journaling and things like that. So all things Gemini are very supported here in this energy. Skipping ahead a little bit because we don't want to be here too long. We do have the middle of the month is when we've got this really, really interesting astrology here. Okay, July 18th till about the 22nd when the sun moves into Leo. We have on the 18th, Uranus at 4 degrees of Gemini. We'll be at 4 degrees by then. Okay, in a trine, very supportive energy with Pluto retrograde at 4 degrees of Aquarius. So fours coming out. So this can be changes, like this is change right there. Okay. This can be your ability to make change, but this can also be that there's some supportive people or situations around you to help boost whatever it is that you're doing. So this can be partnering up with people, teamwork and collaboration in your workplace, maybe to get a project done, hopefully get some rewards and accolades for that, hopefully in the form of some money or promotion. This can be supportive energy for breaking out of a rut. If you've been feeling like things have been stuck, I mean, you know, we've had Jupiter in your sign for the last year. And, while that can be a really wonderful energy, it can also be, sometimes challenging to break out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? So Jupiter helps you do that, but Uranus and Pluto help you do that even more. But some of you here, because Jupiter has just left your sign, this can be where you're making the changes that you've been thinking about while Jupiter has been in your sign. Okay, so this is where the action is. Okay, July 20th, Jupiter at 4 degrees of Leo, all right, in a opposition to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So like Jupiter wants to break free, Pluto may be trying to pull you back a little bit, and it may be just something that's kind of saving you. Sometimes an opposition is meant for us to stop and think, or to kind of challenge us into, making sure that whatever we're doing is actually right for us. So sometimes that can be helpful, stop us in our tracks a little bit, or answer some questions in case we've overlooked something, because Pluto is all about the dark, right? And Pluto, something can come to light there with Jupiter. So we do have that there. So that can be a little challenging. The 20th, we've got two things going on there. Jupiter, 4 degrees of Leo, again, in a trine with Neptune retrograde at 4 degrees of Aries. So Neptune can be your hopes and your dreams, your imagination, your daydreams. It can also be confusion. So this can be a way that we can break out of some confusion and move forward. And that's a wonderful energy with Jupiter there. And we have a really big one, Jupiter at 4 degrees Leo in a sextile with Uranus at 4 degrees Gemini. So a sextile is pure potential. We got to put some effort into something. We got to work at something a little bit, but all of this energy, it's like so many possibilities opening up with this. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be new jobs, new investment opportunities. Perhaps you have an opportunity to, it can be, Uranus is very unpredictable. And it can literally be someone walking up to your door, giving you a call and offering you an astrological amount of money for your house, let's say. And it's like, wow, okay, maybe, who knows, maybe they want to build a road through it or expand their own property, right? It can be like things like that, things like totally out of the blue. It can be, some news that you get, or it can be an idea that you have that can just take off. So there can be some really interesting things there. And then the sun goes into Leo. So we've got a lot of things going on throughout the month of July. Uranus is quite active, Pluto is active, and Jupiter is very active this month as well. And we can use all these planetary energies to support our journey for wealth and prosperity, maybe even changes in your career, right? If you've been working at home all this time, maybe you're ready to get out of the house. So you could be changing like your work hours, things like that, right? If you've had a home-based business, this can be where it takes off. So we got like a lot of expansion coming in here, and maybe just a little bit of luck. Let's see what's in the cards for you guys. We got the 5 of Pentacles. I swear, you are the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, fourth reading that I've done. And I think the 5 of Pentacles has come out, I think this is the third time. So, time to get out of lack and into abundance here, people. Okay. Yes, Jupiter has left your sign, but Jupiter left you blessings. Okay. Are you looking at the lack, or are you looking at the blessings and the possibilities and the portals that are opening for you? The 5 of Pentacles can be just this feeling of something's passing me by. Because sometimes we get the feeling like we're left out in the cold. And now if you're like have been working from home and you haven't been connecting with people, it can leave you feeling like this, right? I'm feeling disconnected. I'm feeling like maybe I don't have opportunities to advance my career because I'm not in the office, right? So it can be things like that. It can be you might get some unexpected bills, but it can also be your value, right? Do you feel that you are worthy of a raise? Do you feel like you are getting paid what you're worth? No. Okay, time to do something about that. So you may need to stand up and advocate for yourself, or maybe you do need to make some big changes. So whatever that situation is, that Five of Pentacles can be a lack or a loss or something that you're feeling, something that you're viewing as not enough. Okay, so we're going to turn those things around this month, I feel. You might need to face your fears, all right, but there's certainly that potential that is activating for you. And not everything's going to play out all in this month, right? We're heading into August, and we've got eclipse season coming in. So eclipses can really bring about some fated events, things that are just really meant to happen. They're written in the stars. And, we're starting to feel that energy as we get to the end of July. So, there could be something that turns around for you there or opens up. Okay. But we do need to dig ourselves out of this energy. Too much focus, perhaps, on what we don't have rather than what the possibilities are or what we can get. You may find that you're lacking some resources of some kind with that Five of Pentacles. Maybe you don't have enough information for something. And so this can be a month, especially, especially with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap. All retrogrades get a bad rap. Mercury especially. And we do get 3 or 4 or so Mercury retrogrades in the year. So it feels like it's constantly upon us, but it's one of our fastest moving planets. And it is known to wreak havoc with our technology and stuff. So make sure you be careful with your technology and don't drop it down the stairs or in the toilet or something. Because you might have to fork out some money that you didn't plan for with that Five of Pentacles showing up. So, so this is, really a time for you to have a look at where's my energy focusing? Do I have enough information that I need? Do I have the resources that I need? What untapped sources can I utilize to improve my situation? Okay. It can also be sometimes the Five of Pentacles, we do pay money out, but it's for getting something back, hopefully, right? Yes, it's paying bills and stuff like that as well, right? But, sometimes you're going to spend a little money to make a little money. So whether it's getting some legal advice or financial advice, or maybe you pay some money for like a career counselor, recruiter to go back to school, right? You could have some money going out the door, but if you're spending your money wisely, right, then you're going to get something back in return. We have the Nine of Cups. Wow, geez, I swear these cards. This is nuts. The Nine of Cups. Okay, so Nine of Cups is your goals attained, your wishes fulfilled. We're feeling good. We're feeling awesome. It's like I got what I wanted. Okay, but it's in your challenge position. So does that mean that it's not attainable and won't come in? No. It means that you have to work harder. Okay, or you have to wait a little bit. Okay, or you need to put a little extra focus into the positive things that you want to blossom because the potential and the activity and the energy is there. So don't look at Five of Pentacles. What don't I have? Right? I don't have this yet. And then when we focus on the things that we don't have, we miss out on the things that are coming in because we're not open to it. Okay. So that Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, we're feeling good, we're feeling comfortable, we're feeling awesome. Okay. But it's a challenge to get there or a challenge to maintain that energy. So we shift our focus here to those things we want, to our goals. And I've got a problem that comes up. Great. There's a solution here somewhere. I'm going to find it. And it's a completely different mentality as that Five of Pentacles, where it can be very real world stuff, okay? Money going out the door, but it can also be woe is me, right? And ultimately you hold the key, you hold the solution to finding what you want, all right? So it can be a great turnaround for you here as well, all right? So that Nine of Cups is always a good card. Yes, it's in your challenge energy, but that does not mean it's impossible. It means it's very possible. You got the World card showing up. This can be expansion and growth. It's also the end of a cycle, and this is your blessing. So your blessing can be an ending, right? It can be an ending to a frame of mind, a train of thought. It can be an ending to a job because why? because the world is a portal to a new beginning, a portal to the next phase of life, a portal to your improved situation, right? Are you brave enough to step through the portal? Okay. That world energy here is a successful completion of a journey, a cycle, a project, something. Okay. And, it can be the end of something, bring closure, right? It can be the end of a job, but this is a blessing, right? You didn't want it anyway. It wasn't paying you enough, Five of Pentacles. So it wasn't giving you something that you want, need, deserve, or desire. But you are successfully completing this journey. So count your blessings, be grateful, be thankful. The World card can bring about something coming to fruition for you. It can bring money in for you. It can bring opportunity in for you. It just brings abundance and prosperity for you, but it's also an opportunity for some growth. Some of you, I feel like maybe you're trying to figure out if you can retire, financial freedom, right? And perhaps here, the Five of Pentacles, it could just be like a little bit of a downer, because you might be thinking, okay, I'm counting all of my pennies, and if I retire right now, can I afford Nine of Cups to live the life that I want? To maintain the lifestyle that I'm used to. And so you may need to do something a little different, or maybe you do need to work a little bit harder, or you maybe need to get some financial planning in place in order to turn those tides around. Maybe you won't be able to be as frivolous as you would like to be, but you got a lot more free time, which means you can get creative on the side, perhaps, there as well. But part of some of your blessings is if you're looking to make some travel plans, this is a great month to do it. I wouldn't necessarily make travel plans while Mercury is direct. You can, but again, take a little bit more care and caution with that. Double and triple check everything and keep copies of everything. Okay, get email copies. If you're traveling, you need an itinerary or tickets. Make sure you print off extras. Do not just rely on your technology. Okay, don't say, oh, I don't need to print out my plane ticket. I've got it on my phone, because you're going to get to the check-in counter and your battery is all of a sudden going to die, even though you charged it an hour ago, or you're not going to be able to find that email. Okay, just have a backup plan. All right. But I do feel that some of you, with these planetary retrogrades, you are longing for a bit of a vacation. You want to go and have some fun. And so with the World card, you could be kind of looking out and going, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And, for some things, Five of Pentacles, it's expensive. You might be, maybe road trips are your thing. And you might be looking at the cost of gas and going, oh man, I'm just going to bide my time. Hopefully the prices start to come down at some point. It's all back and forth, right? You never know, or maybe with the cost of gas, it might be cheaper to fly somewhere. So, looking out and, trying to see what your options and your possibilities are. But the World card in your blessing can very much represent an ending, but there's something better coming in, or the next cycle coming in, and there might be some rewards attached to that, and that's a blessing for you. We also have the Eight of Cups, walking away energy. Now, so for some of you, by the time the month is over, by the time, maybe Mercury is in retrograde, or by the time the sun goes into Leo, or by the time our next full moon, which is in Aquarius on July 29th, this is, by the way, the same day that the sun is conjunct Jupiter in Leo. We're at 6 degrees now with that full moon. Be a little magic in the air, a little bit of luck in the air. The sun conjunct Jupiter in Leo is beautiful energy. Talk about a glow up. Okay, so this can be some great doors of opportunity. But the Eight of Cups is a transitional card. We're transitioning out of one situation into another. And we're potentially leaving something behind, or we're checking our emotions at the door so that we can make some important decisions, right? Especially if you're making decisions about money. Sometimes it's best to kind of, pick up your emotions and put them at the side so that you can, so that they don't get in the way and maybe make you spend some money you don't have. But the Eight of Cups, we are transitioning. We're leaving something behind, and we're walking into either something new or something better, but we're making some moves. We're moving forward, okay? And, you do have the Nine of Cups coming out here as well. So perhaps you need to expand your horizons a little bit, or a shift in how you focus, right? Because your Nine of Cups is trying desperately to come in, but first we got to do something here with the Eight of Cups. Okay, so whether this is something new or something that you already know about that you've been working towards, it's all happening, right? It's all happening. So you may need to just kind of again, shift your focus or detach, right? Detach from something there. Um, Eight of Cups can very much be about releasing and letting go of where you've been. And the World card, that closure, right? So this can be something really brand new, something sparkly that you're moving towards. But again, it's in alignment with your wishes and your goals and your dreams, whatever those look like to you. We've got the Queen of Cups coming in. Wheel of Fortune, there's all your Jupiter energy. Okay, Jupiter's working for you, babe. We've got the Death card, change and transformation. There's Pluto. Hello. We've got the Ten of Swords. We are shutting it down. We are letting it go. I've got the High Priestess coming in here as well. Now, got the World card at the back of the deck. World card for the second time. All right. So something here is wrapping up for you. Something here is coming to a close. And it may be bringing you some blessings here, guys. Right? Again, we got some big heavy hitters coming out here for you. Right? 2 world cards. Okay. So you could have multiple opportunities. Right? With the 2, it's like you can go in this portal or you can go in this portal. Which one floats your boat? So again, you may need to sleep on something. You may need to make some decisions, and maybe you need some more information. Okay. But you could have some potentially new beginnings. You can maybe even be in a position where you go down the path that you know or the path unknown. A little bit of a mystery unfolding there for you. But the Queen of Cups is beautiful energy. It's creative. So maybe something that you have been creating behind the scenes. This can be where you start to gain some traction on that. A home-based business or something. Or just creation in general. Because the Queen of Cups, very intuitive, very much in control of her emotions, brings in some healing. So there can be something that does get fixed. We turn something around, 5 of Pentacles, right? But it's a water sign energy, right? Which can be very spiritual, very intuitive, and very creative at the same time. But cool as a cucumber here. We're very much in control of our emotions, which is good, right? Because we're letting go of our emotions in a positive way, I feel, right? Because it's like, I got to deal with my money now. I got to deal with my real world things now. And sometimes, emotional responses when dealing with money aren't always a good thing, because we can get carried away. But that Queen of Cups is an awesome energy. So, maybe you already kind of know that there is some change in the winds. You may have already been feeling it, but you maybe just couldn't quite put your finger on it. Well, July is the time. All right. But we do have the Wheel of Fortune here also. So this can actually be a lucky break for you. You might find that you're in the right place at the right time. Perhaps you connect with somebody. The Queen of Cups can be you. Your energy is beautiful, but it can also be a person. Okay, this can be you nurturing your goals and your dreams, right? Nurturing energy with the Queen of Cups. But again, it can be somebody that you partner up with or someone you work with. It can be someone new, someone you already know perhaps, or maybe someone from your past, right? A blast from the past can come in, especially with the retrogrades that we have. We get a second chance at something. But with that Wheel of Fortune, there's like a little bit of a lucky break. And the Wheel of Fortune is in the upright. So we've got the Wheel of Destiny, the Wheel of Karma, good karma coming back to you, the Wheel of Expansion and Growth, right? It is ruled by Jupiter, and we've got multiple aspects with Jupiter coming in. And Jupiter didn't leave your sign that long ago, right? Not that long ago at all. Very short time frame. And, when Jupiter leaves, Jupiter deposits you a gift of some kind. So this can be a perfect time to look at where you want to go. You're on a cycle of increase with that Wheel of Fortune. It can also represent, because it's like the Wheel of Fortune is like a gamble a little bit. And so this can be that energy coming in, that if you don't take a chance, then you're never going to know. So if there's been something that you've been wanting or dreaming about, Look at what is your perfect career path? What is the perfect company? What is the perfect position? Where do you want to live, right? It's all about your money, your career, right? And, it's like, if I don't take you miss 100% of the chances that you don't take. So where are you going to roll the dice, right? Where are you going to take a little bit of a chance? Is it something as seemingly simple as walking into your boss's office and say, "Hey, Five of Pentacles, I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. Is there a reason for that? Because this is what I bring to the table. This is the extra stuff that I do." Sometimes bosses are kind of insulated. They don't always know. They don't always know. They don't always think about it. Sometimes you get a really good boss that's like emotionally mature, an empathetic leader, if you will, but they can be few and far between. So sometimes we've got to like whack them upside the head to make them see what's really going on, right? And because as far as a boss goes, status quo is a good thing, right? So where are you going to take that chance? Because the path for change, death card there, is opening up for you. Death card, change, expansion, growth. This is Pluto energy right here. Pluto is in retrograde. So, maybe something that has taken a while, or something where you've had to dig for some information or there's been something hidden. Hey, this might be where something comes out in the open for you. But we're ending a difficult cycle here, right, with this 10 of Swords. So either some truth comes to light and you're like, wow, that hurts. Okay, I guess it's time for me to make some change, right? Whether it's how someone or you spend your money or whether it's, something going on at work, you could get a no. 10 of Swords can be a no. It hurts like a ton of bricks with that one. Okay. But then right? You at least have an answer and this helps move you forward. Right? And it could be that your boss says no. Five Pentacles can be a no, and the 10 of Swords can be a no. Okay. It's always darkest just before the dawn, but know that this sets you free, maybe to pursue other better opportunities, right? And sometimes we do hold on to the things that are familiar, even if we're not happy. So this can be a huge breakthrough month for you guys, and in the best of ways. Don't fear the death card, okay? The death card, yes, it brings endings, new beginnings. It brings death and birth and rebirth. It can bring new things. It is an energy of transformation, evolution, but also growth here for you. And even if something ends, you are rising up to the challenge. You're regrowing something here. You're rising above the difficulties here with this, and it can be a beautiful thing. And especially with the Wheel of Fortune, right? We may not know what it is, right? But there's something going on here just for you. But that 10 of Swords, either something has to come to an end or something will come to an end. You'll get that final nail in the coffin that you need, right? And endings are a challenge, but they're also necessary, right? This can even be putting to rest an old idea. It's like, clearly this is not going where I want it to go. And, so yeah, sometimes we feel like a failure, right? With the 10 of Swords there, we can feel like a failure, but it gives rise to newer opportunities, right? So sometimes that door closing can be the thing that sets us free. So, but we do have the High Priestess showing up here for you as well. So we do have, you're really guided by the stars. The High Priestess, this is, of course, all about trusting your intuition, right? However, this also brings wisdom, knowledge, but it's the wisdom that lies within you. So I feel like here, some of you may be at a bit of a crossroads or you have some important decisions to make. And the best thing you can do here is go internal. The High Priestess is always a reminder that when you're faced with decisions, trust yourself. Go inside, dig deep. You have all of the wisdom and knowledge you need to make the right choices for yourself, right? If you have to go and ask your boss for a raise because you're not getting paid what you're worth and you're doing 3 jobs and blah, 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 right? And you get that no, the High Priestess says you already knew the answer before you walked in that door. But by hearing that no, it set you free and put an end to that vicious cycle. And now you've got all these world of opportunities opening up, right? And yes, maybe where you are, maybe the job market's not that great. In other places, the job market's awesome. So this can also have a trickle down effect to, okay, well, to get the job that I deserve, okay, and that pays me what I'm worth, maybe I have to move. Maybe I have to commute. The world card can represent like, an internet, like the internet jobs, working on the internet, working for like a global company, a global corporation. So don't set your sights low. Set your bar high, okay? Because that 10 of swords also reminds us it's always darkest just before the dawn, and there's something arising on that sunrise for you. Okay, something coming up, coming to fruition. So some really interesting cards for you here. But remember, two world cards. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, right? So, there's some growth or potential for growth here, potential for some really positive change, freedom, if that's what you're looking for, travel, if that's what you're looking for. Again, you might need to change your travel plans or just be extra careful. Okay, Mercury retrograde, just be extra careful with that. Doesn't mean don't go, doesn't mean don't make those plans, just means to be extra careful, right? Make sure you've got everything backed up. Let's grab a couple more cards for you. And remember, those world cards are also abundance, prosperity, luck, maybe some fortune, change in fortune, right? With that there too. And we've got cracker energy here for you. Positive energy surrounds you, love, joy, and good fortune await. Let's put that right back on top of that Wheel of Fortune card, okay? Some sort of explosion, something maybe unexpected, right? Something electrifying here. And, we can thank Uranus for being a little bit active this month there for that. And we have beware, okay, number 3. Be careful who you trust at this time, all right? Your intuition will tell you, okay? And remember, beware doesn't necessarily have to be about people. It can also be situations. And again, we've got retrogrades, okay? So there could be something hidden, something that you're not quite aware of. So again, trust your intuition, right? We've got anchored intuition here. Don't be afraid to make some change, all right? Or ask questions or get some professional insight. All right. And it's not necessarily that there's something nefarious, it's just to protect you from missing some important information. Okay. I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. We do have some wonderful stuff coming in. Remember that 9 of Cups is knocking at your door as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave all that there for you. If you enjoyed your reading, please do hit that like button, the thumbs up. They took away the word like. Okay, so just watch for that. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I do have daily readings, and I also have some other goodies. The playlists are all down below in the description. But I hope you have a wonderful July, and expect the unexpected here, folks. Okay, especially with Uranus at play, it is the wild card. All right, but I thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.